Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about your soul on this day 2 of Breakthrough Boot Camp, and my Instagram feed just shut down, so I've got to go over here. So I'm going to let you guys hop in. Those of you that are watching on the replay, hang in there. You might want to fast forward about 30 seconds because I've got to set this up real quickly because for some reason my live on Instagram, because I'm doing it on both, for Breakthrough Boot Camp day 2. Sorry, let me add the title again. Uh, Breakthrough Bootcamp Day 2. And we're going to be talking all about your soul. Like, I really have some great information that is coming through for you guys about the importance of your soul, about what role your soul has in relationships, in your, hold on, it is picking up everything I'm saying. I'm sorry, you guys. Your soul. Okay. What role your soul has in relationships, how you can you ever like try to voice record and then it then there we go, picks up everything you're saying and it keeps typing out when you're really done with your thing. Hey everyone on Instagram. Okay, we're good. Thanks everyone on Facebook that waited for me to get this going. Look, we are going to cover day 2 of the Breakthrough Boot Camp. I'm excited about everybody that's going to be showing up. Most people get this on the replay, so I am just going to jump right in and tell you that I'm so thrilled you guys are here. Yesterday we talked about the role that your mind has in relationships, basically the role that your mind has in messing with you in relationships, and how you can course correct some of the paradigms that you were taught growing up, some of the things that have imprinted on you negative expectations, negative feelings about yourself, and how to weave in your own control now and rewire that monkey mind that gets in the way of your true soul's calling. If you didn't see that, go back on my feed and you will see day 1. Make sure you watch that because it leads into day 2. We're doing 4 days in this boot camp: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is a Wednesday on the recording, and we're going to be talking about your soul in relationships. This series is broken into 4 different broadcasts: your mind, your soul, your heart, and your body. And we're going to be talking about each one of those each day. And today I want to talk to you about the role that your soul has in relationships, as in how it advises you, how it has a purpose here, and how we get into relationships based on soul contracts, based on soul agreements. And then how we were not taught, unless you've been doing the spiritual training that I've been doing, or you've heard about soul cleansing and energy body cleansing, and how we are also responsible, just like we are for our mind, like we covered yesterday. We're responsible for the cleanliness of our energy body, the cleanliness of our soul, the purity of our soul, because that is the eternal essence of us. You know, you were born with that. I'm wondering how many of you, okay, I got everything going. How many of you are in a place right now where you are really, oh shoot, let me put on, oh well, hopefully I won't get disturbed. I forgot to put do not disturb on my phone. You know, there's always something. How many of you are in a place right now where you feel like you're confused, like you don't know what to do? You're worried about making the wrong decision specific to a relationship, okay? Maybe you're trying to decide if you should leave. Maybe you're trying to decide if you should put in more effort, or if you should keep seeing this person, or keep this person hired, or go on this trip with this friend because they're not feeling the same to you. How many of you are confused? If so, just type me in the chat. Like, if you are in a place right now where you're feeling confused about what to do, conflicted, just type me in the chat. You're feeling conflicted. You're like, I'm not sure what to do, because that is where, yeah, I see you here. That is where you are feeling a disconnection from your soul body, because you know what your soul body is here to do? It is here to do the thing that your mind is not here to do, and that is to give you peace and to give you clarity and to give you purpose. And when we're disconnected from our soul body, the energy that is the essence of the innate of who we are going to feel confused. We are going to feel unrest. We are going to feel not at peace. We are going to feel like we're making the wrong choice. We're going to feel afraid. We are going to feel afraid. So, connection with your energy body, connection with your soul is what brings you peace. So, you have a solar plexus chakra. It sits right down here. Those of you on Facebook, I'll show you. Right down here at your soul center, and that is a chakra. It's your 1 to 3rd chakra going up. You have 7 main ones in your energy body. And your soul resides as a glowing, beautiful, golden orb of light right there. Like it's so. I don't know if you've noticed recently, but it's coming up so much on videos because videos are all over the place. I mean, obviously, are all you see now. But you'll see spirit orbs in videos. You know, you'll see them flying across the screen. Some are little pins of light. Some are bigger. Sometimes they look like strings, but they're always glowing light. So that is a soul body. That is one of your angels, your guides, maybe an ancestor that passed on, and you have that same resonance within you. You know, we talk about our soul, our spirit, and I'm not going to get into breaking hairs about the difference. The point is, you are connected to an eternal part of you. You are still very much also in an ethereal state. You're also still in spirit. The part of you that you can touch is anchored here in a physical body, but there's a part of you, your soul, your spirit body, that is still connected to a higher version of you, yourself, your higher self. Cynthia says, are they sometimes blue orbs? Oh, yes. You know, our Archangel Michael will often show up with blue color. That's kind of his signature. Yeah, you know, they can show up as whatever they want to show up as. That's what's cool. I've recently seen a lot, especially in my daughter's videos. She'll get this neat little string, and it's almost like a wave, and then it's incredible when you see them. And you know, I don't know because I'm not over there right now, or at least the physical part of me is not. The spiritual part of me is. They'll show up in different forms, but here's the thing though, I will tell you, very often people mistake light refraction on photographs as orbs. Sometimes the sun does reflect onto photographs, and you'll see, because when you're looking through the camera, it'll move because the sun in your lens is moving, and it sometimes looks blue. And when it's doing that, that's the sun's reflection. I mean, that's just like logic. But if you're seeing things fly across the screen like left to right, oftentimes they'll come diagonally. You know, dust floats. If it's dust, you'll see it. It'll look kind of floaty. Dust rarely will show up on cameras unless your lens is pretty high resolution. But the spirit orbs, you'll see, and usually they'll show up if the light is just dim enough. And like, you probably wouldn't see one here with me because I've got a lot of lighting here. My Facebook, I apologize, the lighting's not as strong. It's really good on Instagram, but on Facebook, because my camera adjusted to all this light, it got dimmer. But anyway, usually when there's a little bit of a dim light and you have a solid colored background, they'll show up more. It's really cool. Well, here's the cool thing is they're always there. Like, they're always there, just like your soul is always here. But sometimes they will show themselves more than others, and it'll happen a lot if you're having a really good time. Dancing will bring them out. If the lighting is right, you will see them. They will be all over you when you're dancing. So that soul body that you have when you go back into spirit, you know, that soul body is what you become. You become an orb of light. You know, human means light form. Man. Man is a form, a physical form. Hue means light, a frequency of light. Man is light in form. Okay, you are light in form. Your soul body, your spirit is what holds that light. Okay, and so when we're talking about chakras and where it resides, you've got this beautiful solar plexus chakra. You know, solar obviously it has to do with the sun, so you can picture the glowing ball of the sun. If you forget, that's sitting right here at your solar plexus. And so when we are disconnected from our soul in relationships, what we are feeling is a disconnection from our soul, a disconnection from source, a disconnection from that nonstop communication and support that comes in from your higher self, the part of you that is still in spirit, because a great portion of you is still in spirit. You have a great portion of you that is communicating with you at all times, feeding you information about what is best for you. Now, I want to give you a little hug about something that I think that we all get stuck on, and I learned this through my spiritual study. There is actually no such thing as a right or wrong choice. Okay, you are here having free will for your human experience. So, you know, oftentimes we'll say, like, I was just listening to a call and the person was saying, you know, what is my spirit guide trying to tell me is the right choice for me? And the channel answered back, well, what is the choice that you desire the most? What is your passion guiding you towards? What is your solar plexus, your inner voice, your inner knowing, your intuition? It's all the same. What is it guiding you toward? What do you desire to have? Because there's no there's no grand right or wrong. You are here to experience life. You're here to experience all the beauty here, tasting things, having great experiences, having physical experiences, having sexual experiences, having spiritual experiences. All of that is why you're here in human form. You are here to experience the number one thing you are here to experience is emotion. Emotion is what sets humans apart from a lot of other, and I will say species because there was a lot more in the galaxy than we know yet, or than have revealed itself to us. To think that we're sitting here by ourselves, in my opinion and in my experience, is kind of ridiculous. There are a lot of different life forms, and you've been a lot of them, by the way. But here on Earth, what you have that doesn't happen in um, a lot of um, frequencies, a lot of levels I'm sorry, there's a word that I cannot retrieve. Dimensions. The dimension of Earth, the experience of Earth, and don't jump off if you're not woo, because I'm going to get right back to soul grounding. This is a really cool thing to know. And this is going to help you to understand part of why you have such an emotional roller coaster in your body and in your soul, because you came here to experience emotion. That is why you came here. You came here to experience emotion. The highest level of emotion is peace and love and joy. And you came here to be yourself and experience all those as yourself. You didn't come here to be just like everybody else. You came here as your own unique puzzle piece. And if we all were the same puzzle piece, there wouldn't be a beautiful puzzle. It would just be a boring thing of squares that would just fall apart. The reason that we collectively are here and that we intermingle with each other in relationships and in our family units and in all the structures and the systems and the groups that we're in is because we all, you have your own puzzle piece figure. And your puzzle piece figure is unique to only you. It is your soul's blueprint. And in each one of these circumstances, you fit in there perfectly. And the way that you fit in there perfectly and then vibe, the highest place that you can vibe is by following your passions, following your heart, following the voice of your soul. So if you're feeling confused about what to do, no judgment. Again, first of all, if we can release the idea that there is a right or wrong, okay? Because we're all here with free will, and you will experience whatever emotion your soul is calling into experience with whatever choice you make. So one of the best things that I ever did that gave me the most freedom is dismissing the fact that I'm going to make a wrong choice. When you're connected to your soul, to your spirit, to something higher, your higher self, which is directly in line with source, right? You have a silver thread running from you up to the divine. You are connected at all times, no matter if you try to disconnect it or not, you're always connected. When you have a connection with that center line, all of that confusion, all of that illusion that you're having confusion is only because you're disconnected from your source of divine knowledge, which always will bring you peace, will always let you know that, I'm not going to make any, that whole right or wrong thing, good and bad, good and evil, is a false teaching that we got, especially through the church. I'm just saying. Now, I'm not going off on like the evil crimes. Like, obviously there's destruction and there's some negative energy that cause horrible things to happen. We're not going to go into all of that because we can dissect that from a spiritual realm. But I'm talking about in your day-to-day life, right? Like, do I stay with this person? Do I go on this trip? What if I take this job or quit this job? Whatever choice you make is the right choice for you, because you're going to then experience an emotion, right, that your soul is calling in for you to experience. And that emotion in your soul body, in your emotional body, is there to teach you something, not to punish you, okay? It is there to help you grow. It is called in by your soul. If you're being taxed with some emotions in relationships, what you can do is flip it and say, what is this here to teach me? What is this fear of abandonment here to teach me? A lot of you have told me that you have that. I have that too. And the fear of abandonment always comes from childhood wounding and from past relationships, past wounding, past trauma. So you're always afraid that you're going to be left, right? That is a very core human feeling when people have had childhood trauma and relationship trauma. That is here to teach you, okay? The flip of that is peace being with yourself. And I know that you probably want to slap me in the face when I say that, and it sounds like rhetoric, but it's true. And it is the greatest lesson that I have learned in my life over the past 10 years as I've gone in and out of relationship after divorce and had to toy with a lot of really difficult, challenging relationship issues, a lot of painful experiences where at the end of the day, there has been significant abandonment. And while I can sit on my couch and say, why me? And I did, I took time to do that. And everybody leaves me, just like my dad left me and my second dad left me, and just like all the things, right? That is here to teach me what I know now, what I'm grounded in, which is why I do this teaching with you guys, why I run my programs, why I love doing one-on-one coaching with people that resonate with that story. Because what you're here to learn, what your soul is calling you towards, is to actually learn to have peace with the flip of whatever your biggest fear is. So the peace in the fear of abandonment, the peace is actually learning how to sit with yourself, learning how to heal your heart and be with you. You know how excited I am to be by myself? Like I used to be, I had so much FOMO. I still love going out. Y'all know, y'all see me on Facebook and Instagram. I love to have a good time. I love to be around people, but the more spiritual I am and the more connected to source and the more I am engaging in my spiritual practice and tuning in with my soul, the more I don't even realize that I'm spending so much time alone because it just innately happens. And I'm so at peace that I almost don't even want anyone else to come in and mess it up. I mean, right now I'm so happily single. Yeah, I have moments like on New Year's Eve where I was like, all right, world, that would be nice to have somebody to smoochy smooch on New Year's Eve. But you know, the reality was I had a great time all by myself, and I get to choose which emotion I cling to, right? And so when I'm in concert with my soul body, I'm in concert with the greater half of me, or I don't know the percentage, but let's call it half of you is still in spirit, which is probably about right. Then when I'm in concert with her and him, because there's a masculine form, and I'm in concert with that part of me, I am finding peace in my life no matter what happens. And I know that no matter what choice I make in relationships, no matter what choices other people make in relationships, how many times you get cheated on, how many times you get abandoned, how many times you get lied to, all of those things, because you're only responsible for your energy body, your decisions, your reactions. You're not responsible for anybody else's life journey, their choices. And this is hard for moms. I know we're here to help our kids as they're growing up, but as they mature, excuse me, we're not here to direct their life's choices. They have their own soul contract, excuse me, with people that they are going to be intimate with people they are going to marry, with people they are going to be friends with. And they have their own soul's journey that's going to look very different than yours. I know I have three teenagers. I'm going through it right now. And I am so blessed and grateful that I am where I am on my soul's journey because even though I have times where I wobble, have great moments of crying and fear. And I still go through the very human emotions because that's why I'm here, right? When I'm in my highest self and I'm connected to my inner being, I'm connected to my soul in those relationships, I can settle back in, meditate, go walking in the woods, connect myself back to my inner being, my higher power, my source, and I will find total peace again, no matter what happens in their lives. Because they have a soul contract. I'll tell you what you have a soul contract with, what you have a soul agreement with. When you arrived here, you have a soul agreement about your birthday, the vibration of the planets, the astrological placement in the universe, the moment you were born, whether you came early or late or whatever, that was part of your soul's plan. Whether or not you believe in astrology or not, there, I mean, the Bible actually talks a lot about the planets and the stars and the sun, and it's a great part of your existence. Um, I don't rely on astrologers' advice, but I do like to know about the alignment of the stars. And you guys, it's a vast universe, but you did choose that moment of entry. You also chose your moment of exit, but let me tell you something. You can also alter that. So you have, when you are done here, what you've come here to do is done, that is when you transition back into spirit. We won't go into that at great length. If you take coaching with me or take any of my courses, you will hear a lot more about that. Okay, so have peace with that. A lot of us have fear about transitioning, and that's the greatest fear that we experience. But it's all worked out. You're not going to go before you're meant to go. You're not. And when you go, it's going to be perfect, and it will be painful for those that are here because they miss your physical form. But and whenever people have left that you've loved, it's been in divine order. You know, a lot of my clients struggle with the passing of parents. A lot of my clients are in their 40s and 50s, and you know, even younger, and worry about their kids. And so a lot of work that I do with people is talking them through this spiritual understanding and releasing and finding freedom again and peace with being okay with whatever's happening on a spiritual level, because people are choosing their own paths. And when we can release that dominance or that need to control other people in those relationships, whether it's employees, spouses, partners, children, you know, whatever it is, when we can release the need to control their actions and feeling like somehow those are reflections about us, somehow we're here to manage all of it. Because I know how many of you are like love being in control, like you're a people pleaser. I'm sorry, I missed the chat here on in Instagram. So, Misty, you've been so interactive. Thank you. She relates so much. Yeah, I know. We have a similar path. She's been in some of my groups before. What you spoke to yesterday regarding childhood wounding, I'm at a place that I don't want to do it all on my own. Yeah. Well, I feel you. And then she says, I'm ready for that life partner. We can go higher together. So here's the thing. even though you can find peace with being alone, and I know I just got off of what I was talking about because I don't remember now because I'm so tuned into what you said. I'll come back to it. Even if you find that peace alone, it doesn't mean that you were meant to be alone. Your life partner is going to come in when he's meant to come in. And I just saw that Kim just joined. Sorry to call you out, Kim. I just saw you pop on. Kim's been in one of my groups, and I saw that her life partner came in, and it's neat because I was working with her before her life partner came in. And I've seen so many people thought I had that partner, but I'm alone. Cindy, I feel you. And here's the deal: the being alone, you're first of all, you're never alone. You're never alone. And the more connected you are to your spirit team and your higher self, and I know it sounds like rhetoric because you just want someone to hold. I get it, girl. I get it. I get it. I've been through two divorces and another breakup a few years ago that felt like a divorce. And I have been in that deconstruction phase of pain because all that childhood wounding came up, all of that abandonment from my dad, all that wounding that came up of not being taken care of and protected when I was a child, like all of that. And by the way, let me just drop this in here. All of the stuff I'm talking about, we're going to be covering in my next program that I'm going to be introducing to you guys on Friday. It's called Heal Your Heart. It's going to be a 6 week program where we are going to be taking really deep dives on all of this. And if this is resonating with you, it's going to be this is a perfect lead in to that program. So keep your eyes out for Heal Your Heart, because it's going to be life changing. Um, when you find that peace with yourself and can let go of that person needing to be with you. I know I've thought that I found that person three distinct times, and things changed. People will shift, and very often one of you will grow in a direction that the other one is not growing. And we talk about relationship alignment, we talk about soul alignment, soul agreements. You have soul contracts with people, okay? And so, what you said before you jumped into this earth, that you said, okay, you may or may not believe this, but this is my understanding. If it's a close relationship, you've had other lifetimes together, most likely. Very often, you're resolving karma, which is when one caused pain to the other in another lifetime, and you're here to resolve that. But you always have soul contracts with those people that you have close relationships with. You just do. It's all an orchestration. And so, whatever you're meant to learn, the greatest pain that you feel in relationships is your greatest opportunity to grow. So when you feel left behind, but see, it's a choice. It's a choice. There's a time for grieving the relationship. So I'm all about get your support around grieving, especially if that breakup was traumatic. I know I suffered a very deep PTSD, anxiety, depression after my first divorce and after my last big breakup. It was very similar with my twin flame. I had that about 2 years ago. The deconstruction that I went through on a soul level, because that relationship was so wrapped in my identity, was life altering. And I had to go there to the place of the wounding. So maybe you're being called, hey Kim, maybe you're being called to go to the place of that wounding. If you're still feeling traumatized, I will always give you this caveat: get your trauma treatment. Like, don't go deep into it if you're still feeling like you're traumatized. You need to be grieving. You need to be crying. You need to be telling your story in a safe place. You need to be held in compassion and love until you're through that grief stage if you just suffered a breakup or a loss. That stage will soften. When it softens and you're feeling stronger, maybe you've reached the point where you're even feeling angry, or you're feeling some peace is starting to come in. That is when you can look at your own soul's journey, and you can look at working on what it was that was here to teach you. And what happens in that pathway is you will eventually, when your healing has come, when you can actually find gratitude for what you learned. And, the gratitude that I have learned, even though I thought I was going to die, those two pivotal breakups. One was my first husband, because I've been married twice. The second marriage I chose to leave. And then the breakup that I had, we're talking, this is over like 30, 40 years of dating and being married. But the deconstruction that I felt was on such a deep level that I wanted to curl up and die. I didn't think I could handle it. And I have a client that I've been working with recently. She had a severe breakup about 9 months ago, and she has literally told me, I don't think I can handle it. I don't have what it takes. Like, she said that she's needed like life support on it. And so I want to recognize that human emotion is very powerful, but you came here to experience it. You're not being punished. You're not having lessons like taught to you with like lightning bolts coming down from heaven because you deserve to have pain. It's not that. If you can do the spiritual work and reconnect on a soul level, work with somebody, I do this kind of work with healers, work with people on a deeper level, because what happens is when we are suffering in relationships and your soul can't tell you what it's dying to tell you, because we're so laser focused on the trauma. You're so laser focused on exactly what happened, that last conversation. Those, I know because I've done it. That, and you're replaying it and replaying it and want your friends to see it. You're reading them all the text messages if you're in that place. And this could be with a boss, an employee. It can be with a friend. When you're so laser focused on the details, you can't, you're processing the mental, right? That's the logical layer, and that's where the grief is. That's where the confusion is. Once that softens and you start to do the work, and you choose, okay, so here's the thing. It's all a choice about whether you want to stay in suffering or you want to grow. It's all a choice. You can stay the victim. I know I did it. I did it for a decade. Until I realized that I actually had the power over that and nobody else did. That is when I had my spiritual awakening. The book, um, Victim Consciousness fell off the shelf. I'd never heard of that. This was in 2014. And I had the biggest light bulb moment where I was like, oh my God, I am responsible for my vibration. I'm responsible for feeling like a victim. Nobody's actually doing anything to you. It's actually happening through you. Because if you're repeating the same pattern in relationships, your soul's like, here, this is the usually my dogs would bark. It's like, hello, this is the lesson. If this is resonating with you, say yes in the chat. Just let me know, or you can say I resonate. Just say yes in the chat. A lot of you, or send me some hearts. A lot of you are are feeling it, and I see it both on Instagram and Facebook, and in the live. If you're feeling it, just say yes in the chat, in the comments, because thank you, Kim. What happens is when you acknowledge that, that's why I love, thank you, Cindy. When you acknowledge that in groups, so if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, make sure you're joined it. The links are everywhere. It's not hard to find. Um, that vulnerability, just letting people know this is where I am, like I can relate to this so much. That's where we form those relationships, and that's where you find that hope, because you'll see somebody else that's risen out of it. That's why I'm here to do this work with you. And there are many people that I've seen come on here that have done work with me, that I've seen them come through it. If you guys, if I can come through it to a place where I literally wanted to exit this planet, I thought many times after my first divorce about taking my life. I was so depressed. I was on medication. I wasn't leaving my house. I was drinking a bottle of wine at least, on most nights. I was laying on the ground crying. I was cutting, like severe. Okay. So that takes a lot of vulnerability for me to tell you that. I would put a BB King CD in, and I would lay on the floor with a bottle and cry. And I was in a giant house, and nobody knew how much I was suffering. I felt so misunderstood. I felt so alone. And I did not get better until I committed to pulling myself out of the cave, right? Because nobody was going to come to save me. I had people trying, but nobody was going to save me from that, and over time, I didn't know it then, but I know it now, because I've experienced a couple of other situations that were very similar in my heartbreak. And what I chose to learn, what I came here to learn, was that I'm here to learn how to love myself so wholly that none of that matters. To connect to source so much that I realize how fucking powerful and lovable I am. And then none of the shit that my dad, my first dad, my second dad, had done to me, has said to me, none of the shit that all the kids in high school, the ones that bullied us, said to us, none of the shit that the mean girls in high school or college did, none of the shit that the high school boyfriend, the college boyfriend, your first husband, your second husband, your last boyfriend, your twin flame, none of the stuff that they've done to you is any reflection on your value. It is a reflection. It's a reflection. I feel you. I still do love to drink wine. So no shame if you love your glass of wine. That is totally fine with me. Hey, Jesus drank wine. There's nothing better than a really good glass of red wine. But you got to make sure that you are doing something that is serving your well-being and not acting as a detriment, right? So if you're enjoying it, then you're being served, because you're just enjoying part of what you're here as a human to enjoy, if you choose. But when you choose to pull yourself out of the victim role, that is when you get your power back. First of all, you'll get a little angry, and then anger is up the vibrational scale of consciousness. That's a really important stage to pass through. And then you'll start to do the work, and you'll start to see things. So like I was saying, when you're laser focused on the details of the breakup or of the situation that's at hand, you don't see the bigger picture. So hawk is my spirit animal. You can't see it from here, but I've got a big thing of hawk feathers over there. Those of you that follow me, that's why I love this sweater. It looks like it's got feathers on it. Hawk energy, spirit animal energy, the hawk specifically, because the hawk flies so high. It tells us whenever you see a hawk, so those of you that are tuned into this, if you see a hawk flying over, it is your sign to pull up and out of the specifics and get a bigger picture view of what's going on. Pull out of the little things and the big things, the little things that hurt you, all the minutia, all the details, and pull up and out. And if you can't find it, Ask your spirit team. You have so much guidance around you at all times waiting to help you. Just say, you don't even have to know which one it is. Just say, whatever angel, guide, or ancestor is here to help me see the bigger picture in this story and find peace, please help me. Whatever archangel is here to help me see the bigger picture and find peace, please show me that. Help me to see that. And then what is on you? So, what I'm going to talk to you about real quickly before we go, I'll take about 4 more minutes to talk about this. Your energy body, you're responsible to keep that line of communication clear, okay? And so what's happening when we're in that pain body, when people have done things that have hurt us, specifically if you've been in a fight, if you've had any kind of interaction that's been conflictual, if you've been in the deep emotions of it, right? You will fracture off parts of yourself. Your energy body will get clouded up with negative emotions, low level emotions. And very often if you've actually had conflict with somebody, you will get parts of their energy field that are stuck to yours. That's why when you walk away, if you ever walked away from somebody and been like, I literally I can't shake this feeling. The reason you can't shake their feeling is because part of their energy body, their Merkaba of energy, it sits about a meter off your body, has actually fractured off, and you're holding it, right? That's what happens when we're at a place where we're not in a state of forgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean it was okay. Forgiveness means you're giving it back to them. You give forth, forgive. You're giving it back, and you're saying, I'm not going to carry the pain of this. I'm not going to carry this. I'm meant to be free, and you give it back. And often you will feel exhausted and not whole, and that is because you've given some of your energy away. Okay. That's what happens in those moments. So I want to tell you some of the ways that you can cleanse your energy body. And I work on this in all my programs and my one-on-one. I will do videos for you so you can do them on your own. I have them in my YouTube channel. Also, I have a lot of this information. Um, Part of how you can cleanse your energy body, I've learned how to do it with my hands. I do it with my kids every morning. I say any energy that's in my energy field that's not meant for me to serve my highest good today, and I push it into the earth. And I say that it's pushed into the earth and recycled for good so that I may be made whole again. You can do that. I have a set of Tibetan bells that I'll ring around my energy field. Sound frequency helps. I'm going to play this sound frequency, and I'm going to do one of these with you in just a minute. Forest bathing, walking through the forest, through between trees, you can telepathically ask trees to form grids of energy between them and go into a state of allowance, taking deep breaths as you walk through the forest, and ask that anything that doesn't serve you be cleansed from your energy field. You can do through meditation. You can do it. You can go to a specific energy healer, Reiki healers, and have your energy field cleaned. You can do this in the shower as the water. You know, water is a cleanser. You will naturally be rebooted when you are in the ocean, by the way. Any kind of natural water, but specifically the ocean because of the pH and the salt in this. Are you getting chills? I love it. When you get chills, it means that whatever truth bomb was just dropped, it was meant for you, and your spirit team wants to tell you. Thanks, Misty. Um, so, oh, I'm getting a lot of yeses on Facebook. Sorry, I missed you guys. Hey, Laura. Hey, Doris. Hey, Lauren. Um, I'm gonna give you this for free today. This is something that I'll do in my groups, but I want to give you for free today a Chris. Yeah. So the reason you love walking in the woods, being in nature, and being in the ocean is because you are clearing your energy field, whether you know it or not. That is what nature is here to serve us to do. Okay. So I'm going to give you, if there is someone right now that you would like to clear their energy field, their energy from you, I'm going to walk you through this beautiful. So I would do this in like a ritual sense. So if there is someone that you can think of that you would like to clear their energy, maybe it's an ex, maybe it's someone that you just had a fight with, maybe it's just someone that, you know, your mom that you just had a conflict with. This doesn't mean anything negative about either of you. It just means that you can feel residual emotion and you would like to clear yourself and be returned to wholeness, and you would like to return whatever is theirs back to them. So what you would do then, you can do this right now, is you just take a deep breath and drop into your body. This is an energy returning, energy field clearing ceremony, ritual, meditation, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just take a deep breath and drop into your body. And what I want you to do is picture that person. And if you can find any love or compassion in yourself for them and whatever they are feeling, I know that can be hard, but they're also having their own emotions around whatever happened or is happening. Just find a place of love for them if you can find love, and wrap them for whatever pain is that they're struggling, that they're, by the way, projecting onto you, because that's what's happening if they are trying to hurt you. They're projecting their own pain and their own feelings about themselves and their life onto you 100% of the time. So just find some place of compassion, just like you would want for you. Wrap them in a bubble of white light. Let's wrap yourself in a bubble of white light. Now, I want you to see them very separate from you, removed from your field as you're picturing them. And I want you to say out loud, say their name and say, "You are a whole person. I am a whole person." Just repeat after me. I have compassion and love for whatever you are going through. And I have compassion and love for what I am going through. Right now, I'd like to complete the wholeness of each of us and return to us the energy that belongs to us. Right now, I'd like, and you can put your hands on your body and you can pull. You're very powerful, friends. It's not just Reiki healers. You have the same power. You just have to learn how to activate the portals in your hands. You can rub your hands together and you can actively pull their energy off of you. So, let's call in Archangel Michael. Just say, "Archangel Michael, I'd like you to assist in this ceremony." And I'm pulling energy off of me now. I'd like any energy that is yours, that is on my energy field, to be returned to you. I ask that any energy of yours that was fractured off of your energy field be returned to you, and then extend your hands and just push it towards them to make you whole. And I want you to envision, if you can feel it anywhere in you, follow your own intuition and pull that energy out. Often it's in your heart or in your gut, in your voice, whatever it is. Return it to them to make them whole. And just hold your hands up like this and push that energy out. Envision that energy returning to their field, their orb of light, and making them whole. Now you say, "I'd like that any energy that has been fractured off of me, that you have been holding in your energy field, be returned to me, washed in the white light of God, transmuted to its purest essence, and returned into my soul field to renew me and make me whole." I thank you for the lessons that I'm learning as we continue to grow. Archangel Michael, I ask for your help in forming a grid of separation. Now, I want you to picture a metal, this is what I do, a metal wall going up between you. This doesn't mean you can't have future conversation, but if you ever desire not to have future conversation, this is excellent. But for now, let's establish a barrier between them if this feels right to you. If not, you can leave this part out. But if you would like that separation so that they maintain their field and you maintain yours, do the second part. So I would like, Archangel Michael, would you install a grid, a metal wall between us, a grid of protection for their energy field and my energy field, so that they may remain whole and that I may remain whole. Archangel Michael, please wrap me in another layer of white protective light, holding all the energy that is mine in its purest form so that I may serve the world with my soul's blueprint. Take a deep breath. Thank you, angels and guides. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, higher self, for guiding me. And so it is. And you can say amen if that supports you. Okay, so that activity is what you can do if you would like a separation between people. You can put protection around you. There are grids of protection. If you would like to keep someone's energy off of you, you can also do, and if you visualize, you guys, it is done in the quantum field. Okay, it is done. Thank you, Sandra. You can put a pyramid grid of protection over you, and you can ask that there's a pyramid grid of protection placed over you, and that the walls of the pyramid be a reverse mirror, so that the mirror is reflecting outward, so that nothing can penetrate. So if anything tries to come towards you, it can bounce off. I did that a lot over my home and my property during COVID, when I was kind of afraid where I lived. And you can do it over property. You can do that, over your body. And there are so many prayers of protection. And here's the beautiful thing: you're not going to get it wrong. Okay, you're going to have healers. There are certain people out there that will tell you have to have this one, you have to have that one. It's beautiful to learn them, but you can make up your own, and it is as it is. It's beautiful to work with violet light, asking the violet flame to be wrapped around you, to heighten your third eye awareness, to heighten your connection to source through your crown. You can wrap yourself in a bubble of green light. That's your heart energy. And you guys, we're going to be doing all of this in Heal Your Heart. I'm going to be talking about that on Friday. We're starting that program on I think January 22nd, just so you know, and it's going to run for 6 weeks. We're going to be meeting like once a week. And those of you that have been in my group coaching programs know how powerful those kinds of things are. But this kind of work, you guys, clearing your soul's energy, it's what allows your heart to come forward more. It's what allows you to find that peace in your life that you're looking for in all of that confusion and all of that pain that you have felt in that last relationship, or the one that was 10 years ago that still hurts, or the one that you're in now, whoever that is in your life. Your soul is calling you. That's why you're here, whether you're watching it live or on the replay. Your soul wants you to feel at peace. Your soul is calling you back towards your center line. That's why I'm doing this boot camp. That's why I'm here for you, because I want to call you back towards the peace that I have found. And do I wobble? Yeah, all the time. One of my best friends is on here right now. We talk every day and go through, it's important to have support. It's important to have, people that you can trust, that can guide you through it. And if you don't have a best friend at that caliber, these kinds of groups, the one that I'm offering, it will elevate you. Okay, working with an expert, I also do one-on-one work, and I'm not here to do a huge sales pitch, but I just want you to know this is how I serve. I'm here to be a beacon of light for you. I'm here to show you what is possible. I promise you, if I can do it with everything that I went through, you can do it. The potential that you have inside of you is so untapped. You're working on like 2 to 5% of your potential. If you've done a lot of spiritual work, you may be up to 10, but you still have like, they even said Einstein, I think, worked at like 20% of his mind potential. Like, Einstein, right? So, the spiritual leaders, like when Jesus was here, his frequency was so pure that you would be healed just by being in his presence, just by touching him. Because the sickness frequency, the frequency of sickness and fear and dread and confusion cannot exist in the frequency that someone like Jesus held. That's why those instantaneous healings happen. So if you can do the practice of forest bathing, connecting, sitting in nature, asking for the next steps. Tune into me. I'm telling you all this stuff all the time. Going into meditation, taking time with yourself, for yourself, loving on yourself, reconnecting to your heart, being intentional about shaking off the victim vibes, being intentional about clearing your soul body, asking that anything that doesn't serve you be washed off, and that everything that is meant to serve you in your energy body be brought back through the white light of God. Lauren says, I feel like some of my friends would think I was crazy talking about this. Yeah, and Lauren I know extremely well. She's actually my cousin. They would, Lauren, they would. And here's the thing. I have been on, I had my awakening 10 years ago this year, and I would have thought I was crazy 10 years ago. The way that I was raised, I was taught that this was all like the occult. But here's the cool thing. It's becoming mainstream, so much of it, because science is actually proving it. Joe Dispenza is doing all this beautiful work. There are machines now that they can see your energy body. I have a child, by the way, Hoyt Lauren could see energy bodies. He thought that everyone could. He could see the color. Your energy body, your soul body radiates with a signature color depending on the emotion. You have a radiating, it's like a plasmic field of energy coming off of you at all times, and it's your signature blueprint. And it radiates with a beautiful purity, but it's up to you how mucked up it gets. This is not woo-woo, it's true. It is scientifically proven. And people will think that you're crazy when you talk about it if they're not in alignment with this and they're not ready to hear it. So my advice would be, then don't talk about it with everybody. I don't talk about this with everybody. I have certain groups, and it's interesting when I'm on this, I'll see certain people pop on here, and I'm like, oh God, like I have a moment, my ego goes, I'm going to go for about one more minute because we're about at 145. 144 is my angel number. That's what time it is right now. I get worried, but then I recenter, and I'm like, if I let it slip, or if they pop on and see me on a live, then they're ready to hear it. The people that aren't ready to hear it, that aren't at that vibration, that they're not there on a soul level, and again, no one's better or worse. This is my choice on my path. They're not going to hear it, right? And they may even remove themselves from my life because I'm too woo-woo. That's it hurts. That's happened to me a lot. But when you're reconnecting with your soul, when you're connecting with people that lift you, that remind you of the deeper purpose, you remember and you connect to this soul contract vision for yourself, You remember that it's all perfect. Even the painful breakups, even the confusion and all that, you're here to go through all of it. What gets you to the other side is a consistent connection with your spirit body, a consistent, what's the word? A consistent recognition that those signs, those visions, like Lauren, that vision that you had that you shared with me, those synchronicities that you have in your life, that you recognize that those are sent to you from spirit. If even if you weren't taught it, that hawk that's going to fly overhead when you step outside later today, or that ladybug that showed up crawling on your wall, or that cardinal that was your grandmother's favorite cardinal lands on the windowsill and starts tapping. I mean, so much crazy shit happens in my life when I am the most tapped in. Like literally, animals will come walking out of the woods right in front of me, and Sandra calls me Cinderella, and no, Dr. Doolittle, and Cinderella, because it just like happens, and it happens more when I'm more connected, because nature is spirit incarnate, is God incarnate. Nature. This is why animals don't worry about when they're going to die, because they know they recycle really quickly. It's a fact. They do. That's why you'll have dogs leave and come back. Like my dog, um, I wanted to call him Georgia again. My dog Tucker, I know, I have peace. I know in my mind that that was my dog Georgia. Some 20 years ago. It's recycled and found their way back to me. You guys have seen that movie, A Dog's Life. So anyway, the point is, as I'm closing, isn't it beautiful to live in this spiritual soup? Like when you're like floating around in this spiritual soup and you're like cleansing yourself. This is I don't know that the Hertz sound on this one, but when you're finding that healing and you have those healing moments where you have the aha breakthroughs, that's why I call this Breakthrough Boot Camp. You're reconnecting with the part of you that is in source. And Missy's talking about hummingbirds. Well, there you go. Yes. And I mean, the synchronicities, the more synchronicities that show up, the more that you're recognizing them. Because by the way, everything is an orchestration. Everything is an orchestration. Every traffic jam you get in that's preventing you from being in an accident down the road, that's the synchronicity to that. Every person you're standing next to, every smile you give or receive, every animal, it's all meant to be to show you more about your connection on this earth, to give you either the ability to affect somebody else's life or for them to affect yours. The more you're awake, that's why we say awake, because your eyes are wide open to this. And as you're listening to this, your third eye is popping open. You have a third eye, you have the pineal gland. A lot of systems have been trying to shut that down for hundreds and thousands of years, but it's actually all over the Bible. God talks about it. Jesus, excuse me, that the people that wrote the Bible talk about it. That your eyes can see, that being born again, being reborn is actually the Bible's terms for being awakened. You awaken back into connecting to your spirit form, and Jesus is all in that Christ consciousness. That's what it's about. Okay. I'm preaching right now. I can go on and on and on. The importance is your soul is beckoning you to the life that you desire. You're not meant to stay in suffering. You're going to have painful moments. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to get afraid, all those things. It is up to you how long you're going to stay in suffering mode and how quickly you're going to get back to reconnecting with your soul, to remembering hawk energy. There's a bigger picture, to remembering cardinal and hummingbird energy, angel energy, that all of those pieces that are appearing to you are there to help you thrive. And you're here for a reason. You're still here. That means you're not done. It's as simple as that. Because when you're done, you're not going to be here. If you are still here, and you're not done. There are so many surprises still coming for you. There are so many miracles that your higher self is keeping you here to experience. You haven't met all the people that are going to love you. The situation that you're in is not going to stay the same that it is right now. It's a matter of you continuing to open yourself, reconnect yourself to your higher self, reconnect yourself to source, and just ask. And that's why it's called a practice, a spiritual practice, because it takes practice to open up. And the one thing that sets me apart from people that haven't been as developed is that I just believe it. I don't doubt all the little things that happen. And it's imagination. It's silly synchronicities that people would be like, those aren't orbs on your camera. That's dust, or that animal wasn't, that was just a coincidence. No, not in my world. And I live in like Disney World in my head. I'm literally like living in a cartoon. Like, yes, I have pain. But the issue is the amount of peace that you will find, that I have found, that I want to guide you to in the decisions that you make in your life when you can continuously reconnect and center and remember that you're meant to be here in peace. You're meant to be here with power, and you're meant for amazing things. All right, you guys. Oh, chill bumps over and over. Yay. If you got chill bumps, listen to this. Anytime you get chill bumps, as you know, Misty, because you've heard me say this, and I know that you practice your own, you've got your own practice. Chill bumps is always your spirit team getting close to you. Their frequency is really high. So if you get chill bumps, it means that what you just heard was spiritual truth, and your spirit team wants you to download it and wants you to accept that that was meant for you to hear. So, okay. So wonderful. Okay, you guys, I'm closing up. Tomorrow we're going to talk about your heart. We're going to meet again at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Thank you so much for showing up today or watching on the replay. I love, love, love sharing this. This lights me up just as much as it lights you up. Please take care of yourself. Please reconnect with your soul and look for, if you're part of the program and you've joined it, you will get an email with some breakthrough bites asking you to chew on a couple of questions. And I would love for you guys to share some more in the Facebook group. I mean, you're a sovereign being. You can do what you would like, but it is beneficial for you to connect with others and share in there. So I'm putting prompts in there and some questions, and I would love for those of you that are my stars that are brave to go in there and just answer, whether you know it or not. People will see it and they will connect to you, and I will, of course, respond to you in there as well. And I would love for you to take a screenshot or any part of this breakthrough boot camp and hashtag it with breakthrough boot camp and repost it either on your stories or in your feed so more people know about this work, because we want more people in our tribe. So hashtag breakthrough boot camp. Tag me so I can repost you. A lot of you did that yesterday, and I so appreciate it. So you can take a screenshot of me right now. I'm just kidding. If you want, the more I do this, the more I just don't care. I do not care what anybody thinks. So tag me, post about it, tell me your breakthrough moments, tell me what you learned today in the Facebook group so that we can share it with others and share the light. And remember, you're here for a wonderful, magnificent, insanely powerful reason. All right, you guys. Toodaloo. See you next time. See you tomorrow.